about the Ashlee Jenae case, but it made matters worse. Psychic reading about the Ashlee Jenae case made matters worse. And I want to react to it. I want to share my commentary about the situation. We're going to pretty much be talking about this woman. That's right. A lot of you may have seen this video, probably been influenced by her. And what I want to do is react to what she's saying and see if what she's saying is right or wrong. Now, I'm not going to spoil it for you. We're just going to react and get to the point. I'm going to play the tapes, break it down, find out what's going on. When it comes to this case, guys, we got to deal with what's real, not what is fake. A lot of people are entertained by psychics. A lot of people run to these folks for answers. You guys got to grow up. Seriously. There is practically nothing that this woman can tell you that's going to be accurate. It's just for entertainment. Look at all the things that I broke down with the case. I'm not no psychic. I'm just smart. I'm not here trying to hustle the viewers. I'm not here trying to manipulate nobody. I'm just speaking truth, making sense. So we're going to take a listen to her video. Maybe a lot of y'all follow her. Y'all believe her. Maybe after today, you ain't going to follow her no more because I'm telling you. Let's just get into the content. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Continuing on with the Ashlee Jenae case, we are now reviewing a psychic who claimed that she's given a reading from the spirit world and what the cards are saying. We're going to find out if she's right or if she's wrong. And I'm going to be quick to call bullshit, bullshit. Because we're not going to play with the viewers. We're not going to gaslight you and give you a bunch of fluff. We want to know about truth in regards to the case, not made up stuff. Everything must align and make sense. Let's get into the content.
I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I am back with another energetically channeled celebrity video. Now, this type of celebrity is entirely different than the former celebrities, movie stars of decades ago. I'm talking about celebrity influencers, and I'm talking about the young woman that passed away in Zanzibar, Tanzania, the past 2 weeks, right after her birthday and subsequent engagement with her boyfriend. She's found in some situation, and they are trying to suggest that she put herself in this situation. She was taken to the hospital and she died, and that she was 31 years old, born on April 5th of 1995. And again, I'm talking.
If there's one thing, guys, that you must know, all you viewers that rock with my platform, please listen to me. You see my eyes? Do you see my eyes blinking every 5 seconds or every 2 seconds or every 1 second? My eyes is just steadily looking at you. Of course your eyes gotta blink. But when people are lying, their eyes are flickering all day. That's their body letting you know they're lying to you. I want you to take a look at her body language. Pay attention to the eyes. Pay attention to this, guys. Very, very important. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I am back with another energetically channeled celebrity video. Now, this type of celebrity is entirely different than the former celebrities, movie stars of decades ago. I'm talking about celebrity influence.
Do you see the eyes? Do you see how the eyes just keep blinking, blinking, blinking? That is how you know they're lying. One of the key clues to understanding body language is when the eyes keep blinking, 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 your mind is trying to figure out what you should say next. It's like you're looking around trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? That's what's going on here. Let's go.
And I'm talking about the young woman that passed away in Zanzibar, Tanzania, the past 2 weeks, right after her birthday and subsequent engagement with her boyfriend. She's found in some situation, and they are trying to suggest that she put herself in this situation. She was taken to the hospital and she died, and that she was 31 years old, born on April 5th of 1995. And again, I'm talking about Ashlee Jenae, known as Ashley Robinson from her birth, and she's cited as being born in New Jersey. That's the information I have, and being a Miami influencer. I'm sure she's an influencer wherever she goes because she was an influencer. Her career goes back a long time, though, approximately 15 years. She's a print model.
I mean, everything that she's saying is right on the web. Any of you could figure that out. So much for the reading, right? You could figure this stuff out. It's very clear. It's public knowledge.
Model, a spokesperson. She did all kinds of things. So she had put herself in the business at a very young age and was becoming successful in a lot of different genres. And most importantly for her, the influencer type of celebrity, which gave her a huge following, and people enjoyed watching her lifestyle content. Now, she went on this birthday trip with her boyfriend named Joe McCann, who's approximately 17 years older than her, 48. Okay, so he's in that age range somewhere, and the two of them traveled out of the country, and they were on this lovely vacation with these extraordinary animals and surroundings and beautiful things. I mean, just absolute.
No, that was AI. Those animals in the videos, all of that stuff, that's AI. Now, of course, they got real animals out there, but let's just be honest. You know good and well that usins, we ain't going around no lions and tigers. We ain't doing that. You know, I'm not doing that. I don't mind having a little cat, preferably a tabby cat. I like those cats. But a lion and tigers, nah. We're not gonna be doing that. So when you see those lions and tigers and all that stuff in the videos, that's animation. That's AI. It's a service that they use to create like a fantasy. When you look at those videos, you know it's not real, but you want to believe it's real. It doesn't make sense. If you look at those videos very carefully, and we're going to review those videos in due time, Joe don't even look like Joe in those videos.
Lovely things. Her birthday was on April 5th, so you know I have to look up her chart. However, I don't have a time of birth, so I have to put a sun on the ascendant.
And shout out to everybody coming in. I see a lot of people saying hello to everybody. As soon as you come in, be sure to hit the like button, guys. We are reviewing a video of a psychic woman who claimed she's given a reading about Ashlee Jenae and how it connects to her death. And basically, we're trying to figure out, is she speaking the truth or is she full of shit? On this platform, We debunk the lies. We don't want the viewers walking around listening to something that is a joke. We need Joe to turn himself in. We don't need a psychic. Let's just be real, fam. Joe did it. It is what it is. Allegedly, Ringo, Joe did it. What more do we need to see? Let's just cut to the chase. No, we don't got time to play. Joe was with Ashlee. Do you understand? There was a fight. She ended up dead. Where's Joe? So hold up. Joe, your fiance is dead. The body was returned back to the United States. Are you going to visit the family, pay your respects, or you just don't give a F about Ashlee? Which one is it? Let's go.
To figure it out. Now, she's Aries, Sun, and Mercury in Aries, and this would be placed in her first house with Sun on the ascendant. She had Saturn in Pisces and Venus in Pisces in a wide conjunction, approximately 8 or 9 degrees. Now, this conjunction in the 12th house of the Sun on the ascendant chart is interesting and piqued my interest right away.
We don't got no time for this nonsense, fam. Like, for real, man. It's like, when you listen to this type of nonsense, it's not making no sense. We got to use our brains, guys. We don't got time to be listening to the third house and her sun and her moon and all this goofy stuff. We don't got no time for that. If this woman was legit, she'll be able to tell you exactly what went down, where they were, what she was wearing, and everything else. Do you understand me? Not only that, she'll be able to predict her own life. All she got to do is just look at the cards and read the spirits. A lot of these particular people are what you call witches and warlocks. People that deal with the dead. Do you understand me? Let's get back to the content. Hit that like button.
Saturn and Venus together dampens your love life, wherever it's placed in the natal chart, because again, we don't know her time of birth. But when I'm reading it from Sun on the ascendant and I see it placed in the 12th house, past life, prior, romantic intent.
Past life? That's reincarnation. What past life she talking about? Where's she getting this from? What that have to do with the case? What does that have to do with her turning up dead?
Entanglements that imprison us right away. Karmic retribution, karmic responsibility. Now remember, when people use the word karma, they're like, so-and-so did this, so karma's going to get them. Sometimes people come into our lives and they continue up with the karma. They continue the fight because they themselves have karma with the fact that they shouldn't be doing that, and they refuse to acknowledge that. So it depends what...
That can apply to anybody. That statement, it can apply to anybody, anything, any circumstance. Do you understand me? Like that applies to anything.
Way the karma's going, and I actually am feeling the way that it's going. However, having said that, I'm just going to move forward with this. Now, she had Jupiter and Pluto retrograde in Sagittarius. They were in a Sagittarian country, meaning...
What? They were in a Sagittarian country? What the heck is this, bro? This woman is dead. She was murdered. And this woman is playing games talking about Jupiter and Mercury and all this goofy stuff. And what's so crazy is a lot of y'all follow her. Y'all really listening to this garbage. Just keeping it a buck with you. This is called garbage. We want to know what Joe was doing. She's not giving you no information. She's entertaining you with mumbo jumbo. That's what this is, guys. Hit that like button.
Not the mundane astrology, I'm not sure what it is for Zanzibar and Tanzania, but traveling outside of the United States to foreign lands is very Sagittarius by nature. So I'm wondering what was aspecting her Pluto. And if you go back to the time frame of when they say they started dating sometime in 2024, it was probably right at the tail end of her Saturn return. So
her Saturn return? What the heck is that? What that have to do with why she was in a room hanging? And how do she hang herself on a door? Come on now. How in the world this woman hanged herself on a door? How? How? How does that work? And how is it that they were able to come into the room and notice that she's still alive to take her to the hospital? What perfect timing. What timing is that? Perfect.
Said that, it brought back this partner into her life, if we're going to look at it metaphysically. But I'm going to look at it calculating, because when I look at her chart, and I'll tell you this, she was a Gemini moon regardless of what time she was born on that day, and she has her North Node in Scorpio. Scorpio North Node is interesting. Now, South Node is where we come from. It's the sweatpants we pull on every day. We're used to it. It's consistent. It's what we do. North Node is that creepy tuxedo you put on, or that really starchy dress, and you're like, this is so uncomfortable. I hate it. I want to wear my baggy sweatpants, right? So when we go towards the North Node, we are working towards what the soul needs to learn. Now, the North Node in Scorpio is fascinating. Not only does it combine the 8th house attributes, which is sex.
This is pure bullshit, guys. This is like mental gymnastics. This woman is not giving you no information. Nothing. She's speaking another language. And most of y'all be listening to this type of stuff, and it's like, where's the meat and potatoes? Where's the info? She been on talking for about almost 5 minutes. Ain't say nothing yet. Let's proceed.
Death and rock and roll and taxes, but it also combines the energy that goes on underneath the current in a metaphysical, spiritual, kind of good or bad spiritual way, and the element of manipulation. Remember that Scorpio is manipulative on its basis, meaning it learns about how to maneuver underneath the surface, which is not overt and not logically in front of us. So it's what goes on underneath. So North Node in Scorpio is going to force the person to deal with things of a nature that require them to recognize manipulation throughout their life, which means they will be taken advantage of, and usually retrospectively means that they come from a very empathic, compassionate mindset as a being. So they are targets for people who prey on kindness of other people, assuming it's weakness. This is the first part of it. Now, I have no birth date for her boyfriend, but when I look at him, I feel water and I feel fire with him. Now, water can be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio.
Bro, I mean, people really listen to these type of people to get info. What has she said thus far that can help with this case? Nothing. No information, guys. This is why when I do these videos, I'm trying to do a process of elimination. Get the mud out the way, the fluff, the garbage, so that you good people, when you watch content, you use your brain, you know? If it's not making sense, you throw it out. It's not good. It's a distraction. What this woman is doing is she's practicing witchcraft. through the video. That's right. This is a witch. Do you understand me? She's dealing with the dead. She's dealing with demons, dark spirits. That's who she's communicating with. This is not a talent. She's not communicating with God. Do you understand me? A lot of you that entertain this can be easily deceived.
To go with Scorpio or Cancer on that, although her Saturn is in Pisces. So it would stand to reason something in his chart was in Pisces, but I see the ego on him or the ego around him physically and the rounded body shape. So I want to go Cancer, fire sign, Sag. I want to go around those lines. I also want to say possibly Leo because her chart, natal chart, as much as I could run it, is Mars in Leo. So she, no matter what sign the boyfriend is, he will present as a Leo type energy. So that's the presentation of the energy. Now, when I'm looking at or trying to find this man's birth energy, anything about him, he could be Libra too, because Libras are.
You ever was talking to somebody and just knew they were full of shit, and you just kind of, you wanted to leave the conversation, but they just kept talking? It's just wasting your time, draining your energy. That's what this is, guys. This is not helping with the case. She haven't given us no information yet. Nothing. And all the info she could possibly give you, it's public knowledge. You already know. But she said some things on this tape that is very, very misleading. And we gotta speak on these issues. Because I don't want you good people to be deceived by listening to spirits from the dead. Ashlee's dead. So why would the dead be giving this woman insight on what needs to be said rather than just telling you who took Ashlee out? Right? But they never give you those answers.
Often violent. Don't get mad at me, Libras. It's afflicted Libras. So I will not generalize on saying all Libras, but when there's an affliction to the sign, this is what we're talking about happening in this particular instance. But I wanted to pick up on the energy of what actually happened. So here I go. I'm going to go into it. The first thing I get from the boyfriend, because I'm trying to see what happened around this. The first thing I get is he lied to Ashlee about his age.
Who cares about that? That's dumb. If women lie about their age. Women lie about their age all the time. You're telling us stuff that is trivial. What does lying about their age have to do with her death? Who cares? Get to the meat and potatoes.
Whatever age he is, he did not tell her that age. He made it a couple of years younger. He's deceptive from the beginning. The conversation is deceptive. The initial meeting between the two was set up as an introduction of coincidence, meaning he asked somebody to put him in proximity with her in order to introduce them.
That's a lie. He known her for about a year. He met with the family. The family confirmed that. He don't need to get with Ashlee in order to get with someone else. That don't make no sense. Do you understand, guys? She's making up stuff as she go that is not coinciding with the actual story. It's taking you somewhere else, which it can't even be verified.
So there is a targeted focus from his energy to her energy to get to know her. Is this bad? No, I'm assuming the male species is going to go after something that they find visually attractive, physically attractive, all of those things. And that's exactly what happened. But he didn't present himself truthfully to begin with. So at this point in our society in 2026, I think it behooves everybody to basically get a private investigator to run the background on somebody so you can find out their financials, their physicals, their if they're married, if they're not married.
So let me get this straight, ladies. So as soon as you meet a guy, you need to hire a private investigator to find out where he worked, how much money he got. Why is everybody focusing on money? We're supposed to be getting to know one another. This is why I love the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 77, and the 80s was a great time. Late 80s, 90s, best time in history for dating. Early 2000, great time. You know, in the 90s, no internet. You had to talk to people. You had to get to know people. A dude had to walk up to a young lady and introduce himself. Women used to be so excited when a brother bring her a flower. She would go crazy. You give a young lady a compliment back in the day. It made her so happy. She'll tell all her friends. It was a great time. Today, you need to hire a private investigator and a psychic to learn about people now. Ain't that sad?
Have kids, if they don't, if they owe money, if they don't, if they have bankruptcies, if they have criminal cases against them, if they're wife beaters, and this goes for
If you got to go through all of that, you're better off just being single.
and dating women as well. I think it's imperative because this guy had such a mask on him. Meaning he didn't present himself. He didn't tell her the truth about his age initially. He was a liar by concept in order to get.
She's still talking about his age. That doesn't necessarily make him a liar. And I'm in no way, shape, or form defending Joe. I believe that he took Ashlee out. My point is claiming that he lied about his age doesn't automatically make him a habitual liar. We need something to stand on. We need some sort of facts, things that we can fact check, things that he did that we found out is a total lie. Now we have a pattern. Now we have an action. You know, if you keep doing something over and over, it turns into a habit. Do you understand? So when something is a habit, then you become a habitual liar because you practice this all the time.
What he wanted. So in order to get what he wants, he's got to say this in order to be heard. And then he can work his way in and things can be said correctly and she'll forgive him because she'll already be in love with him. So that is already coming at her from a manipulative pretext, okay? So it's like I'm manipulating the energy around it. I'm going to lull her into some kind of sleep or some kind of security by explaining why I did that because she was so beautiful. Now, she was prone to flattery and she did want what she wanted. I get a very sad girl. It's interesting. I get a very sad girl who was so heartbroken over a prior relationship that she had to save face with this relationship. So
no, she's making up another lie, guys. Ashlee was excited about her life. She wasn't sad. She wasn't sad. That's a lie. Where is she getting this information from? From demons. Again, guys, when you have these mediums, these witches and warlocks that are on social media, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of witches, a lot of warlocks, and they be doing these divinations, speaking to the dead, and you folks be eating it up. Those kind of videos get hundreds of thousands of views because a lot of people, they listen to demons. They listen to the dead, and you want to believe it because you don't have a connection to God. So you go to people like this, and these people lie to you every day. Take your money.
Couldn't let anyone know that this was not working out the way that she wanted to. She had to save face. She had to present herself in a particular way. I am getting from the third month of their relationship. So these two meet, and 3 months into the relationship, this guy is nattering at her aggressively, and they're in verbal arguments practically daily all the time. She doesn't want to tell people because he appears to be such a catch.
This doesn't make any sense, guys. Where's the proof of this? She's saying that in the third month of their relationship, Joe and her were arguing every day. Where's the proof? You know where that's coming from? Other people this person saw on YouTube. You know how I know? Because I do my research. I watch videos. I look at them from the clouds. And there's a video where somebody put out claiming that this wasn't the first time that Ashlee and Joe had some sort of argument or fight. That's where she's getting that from. Do you understand me? They take what they hear from other people and make it seem like they're getting it from some sort of spirit. No.
Okay, he appears to be a catch. I would suggest that a partner who is a catch is someone who doesn't argue with you day in and day out, causing you to have to defend yourself. This is the kind of cycle.
Listen, let me explain something to y'all, because I don't think people understand. If you get into a relationship, you're going to have arguments. What she's telling you is a lie. Do you understand? A real relationship between a man and a woman, you're going to have arguments. That's normal. There is no such thing as you're dating someone, you're getting to know someone, you're living with someone, and there's no arguments. In the beginning stages, you're going to have a lot of disagreements. That's the two of you becoming one. Learning about each other, understanding each other. You got to bump heads in order to compromise and recognize what tick each other off. Do you understand me? Some of you ladies may want that man to, lift the toilet seat up if he's going to take a leak, not just point his magic wand and then end up messing up the toilet seat. So it irritates you. So you may argue with him about that when he come over your house. Like, what are you doing? You don't do that nasty crap in my house. So you're going to bump heads. Those arguments are healthy. There's a difference between an argument and domestic violence. What happened with Ashlee is domestic violence, to the point where they had to be separated. No, a man and a woman who live with each other or you're dating, if you got to get to the point where you got to be separated, y'all don't need to be with each other. That's toxic. Do you understand? That means it was a physical altercation between those two. Somebody put hands on somebody. Somebody put paws on somebody. And that is why they claim Joe was moved to another room. You understand? And what's so crazy is if Joe was moved to another room, that would imply that Ashlee was being physically violent towards him, because she stayed in the main room. He was moved to another room. Do you see that? So the way they paint in this story is as if though Ashlee was angry about something. Something was done. And it got Ashlee in her feelings, to the point where Joe could not stay in that room. That's what they want us to believe. I personally do not believe that Joe was moved to another room. That's what the news is putting out. I don't believe that. Because if he was put out the room, how was he able to come back to the room to find her hanging on a closet? And then the story switched again, where they claimed that a hotel staff member came to the room. And Ashlee told him, oh, come back in 10 minutes with that charger. They come back to the room and find her dead. Those are two different stories, guys. This case had 3 stories in one. My job is to eliminate the lies, the manipulative tactics of all involved, including the psychics. So you good people don't get played.
I get that she was in. So as I'm focusing on the energy, I'm trying to figure out what happened. And here's what I get from the perspective around her.
Why would she be trying to figure out what happened if she's a psychic and she's supposed to know it all? Why is she trying to figure out what happened? We don't need a witch to tell us what happened. All we got to do is use our brain. Every last one of you that is viewing know that Joe is guilty. Your intuition, your gut feeling already told you this. You don't even need to pray about it. You already know Joe is guilty. You just saying that, Ringo, because a man is white. You just don't like white people. Even if he was black, he's guilty. Do you understand me? I don't got no time for all this white, black. I don't care about none of that mess. I'm tired of people bringing race into every damn thing. I can't stand it. You understand? I don't care if Ashlee's preference was white men. I'm not one of these so-called black males on YouTube that's going to sit up here bashing Ashlee because she was with a white man and she ended up dead. I'm not Tommy Sotomayor or any of these other YouTubers that are talking about this woman. I don't do that. I don't got time for that. I'm trying to focus on the case, on what really matters. Just like all of you brothers, you would sleep with any woman if she's throwing that cat at you. Doesn't matter if she's Asian, white, Russian, Spanish, black. If a woman is throwing that cat, you are going to deal with her. Doesn't matter. You ain't going to be like, nah, I only deal with my sisters. No, you going to smash. So why is it that when a black woman chooses to get with a white man, all of a sudden you want to bash her, but yet you don't mind dealing with whatever woman you want to deal with? Make that make sense. Let's go.
Energetics and his energetics. So immediately, right away, he's looking at his watch. Tick tock, tick tock. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. He's in a hurry. So he proposes. There's a reason for the proposal, and it's not just a proposal. He's in a hurry to do this.
A hurry to do what? This don't make no sense. So let me propose because I'm going to unalive her now. She's not giving you no information on why she's even saying these things.
And then I immediately flash over to kind of the aspect of Russian friends or frenemies around him, okay? People from Russia. These are people he deals with in a business capacity. And then I'm immediately thrown into the mindset of the dark web. So I know that this man is working in or around or viewing the dark web. This is the first triad of things I get with him.
The dark web. What does this have to do with Ashlee's death, woman? You're just making up stuff as you go. The dark web, okay, provide us some substantial information about Joe that we can find on the dark web. What is he doing? What is Joe doing? Or are you just making stuff up? Which one is it? Because I'm tired of the good people coming on social media looking for answers, and they run into this. No, she's lying to you. Just like those news reporters are lying to you. Just like the family of Ashlee lied to you. A lot of people is in on this in order to get paid. And Joe is somewhere hiding in the cut, relaxing. Up to now, not one interview by the news media. Not one news station pulled up at Joe's house. Nobody don't know where Joe lived. So let me get this straight. The parents claim they met Joe, that he spent Thanksgiving with them. We could even go as far to say Christmas, New Year's, all of them holidays. So the parents don't know where Joe lived. So let me get this straight. Your daughter is with this man and you don't know where he lived, but he know where you live. Ladies and gentlemen, never let people come to your house if you don't know where they live. Never invite guests to your house if you don't know where they live. Worst thing you could do is have people know where you live and you there scratching your head like, man, I don't even know where they live. So the parents don't even know where Joe is located, but they want to tell you that they met him. They don't even know that man. Because if you did, you would know where he lived.
There's something going on over here. And then immediately I zoom back to Ashlee's energy. And I'm saying it like this because I wrote it down in this way when I was actually asking what happened. So it was written down prior to me doing this reading so I can kind of tell you in the direction that I was getting it. I go immediately to Ashlee's energy. She knew that going on this trip was a mistake. She felt it and she didn't listen to herself. And there's a lot of sorrow around that. She sits at the feet of her mother and asks her to forgive her and says she's sorry for what she did because I believe her mother told her to get away from this guy.
That's a lie. Her mom, listen, her mom is a certified swirler. You're lying. Her mom is a divester who married a white man. Her daughter was raised in a predominantly white area, white school. All she saw was white men, to the point she wanted to be just like her mama. And that's her preference. It is what it is. I ain't saying she did something wrong by getting with the white man. If that's what she want to do, that's what she want to do. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. But we're not going to sit here and let this lady lie and say, oh, the mother, because I seen some of you folks, you came into my live chat and in my comments saying that, oh, the mother warned Ashlee about Joe. You folks got that from her because there's no record of that on social media from the mama. There's no post, no video of the mother saying that she warned her daughter about Joe. So that is a damn lie. And it came from her. And most of you regurgitated that garbage and brought it into my comment section. Let's go.
And of course, as parents, we know our children will never listen to us, even if they love us and talk to us 24 times a day. They're not going to listen. They're going to do what they do because they feel like they're grown and they know better.
She's a 31-year-old woman. Stop acting like this lady's a child. You see what she's doing? She's gaslighting you. She's acting as if though Ashlee's a little baby, a little immature kid, wet behind the ears. No, Ashlee's a grown woman. Her parents weren't even around. They didn't have a good relationship with Ashlee. Ashlee grew up and went on her own. Ashlee probably haven't talked to her mom and dad in probably 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Probably about 10 years, 10, 12 years, haven't spoke with them. She went on to do her own thing and got successful. You understand? Her father went and married another woman. She was in a dysfunctional family. Mom and dad was not in the same spot. Mama had love for the white man. And that white man pretty much was in Ashlee's life to the point where Ashlee respected her white stepdaddy more than her father, her biological father. You know why? Because she saw how the white man treated her mama. And that shaped her preference and desire for Joe. But what she didn't know is that she didn't know the real Joe. Joe is like her biological father. You see, a narcissist comes in all shapes and sizes, colors and creeds. Do you understand me? It's the same evil spirit operating in flesh.
Sometimes adult people can't see what's in front of them. But her mother 100% said something to Ashlee along the lines of, this guy you need to get away from.
That's a lie. There's no record of that. Look at her face. Body language. Do you see that? She's lying. Look. Lies. How much times have I given you guys and you ladies the truth about body language? Look. She's lying. That's why she have to look away. There is no community posts, no videos, no interviews of the mother saying, I warned my daughter about getting with that sorry white man. That's a lie. The mother accepted Joe. Do you understand? The mother said they met up with Joe. Joe asked for their daughter's hand in marriage. Joe spent Thanksgiving with the family. If the mother did not want her daughter around Joe, Joe would have never been invited to Thanksgiving dinner. Trust and believe that. So she's lying.
She went on the trip and it seemed and redeemed itself. She felt happy. But I'm going to explain something about the manipulation that I got. And it was something that came through and it was a very weird thing, so I'm not sure that I understand it.
You're not sure that you understand it? I thought you're a psychic. So what are you getting? Who are you getting this info from?
So, it's all moving towards Ashlee's birthday, a celebration of her birthday. Okay, she's turning 31. She has new business deals when she arrives home. She's taking the direction of her celebrity in a different way. She's getting ready to really ground down and do some work. She also wants to start a family and have a married life. So it's a different chapter in her life. And suddenly, this guy comes through without allowing her to sell her birthday and by binding and combining the energy and proposes to her prior to her birthday. So all the focus goes.
This is all bull crap, guys. Can't you understand that this is a joke? This woman is exploiting Ashlee for views. She's not giving you content. She's not reporting on the news. She's not breaking down the story. She's giving you a bunch of fluff that you can't even verify. Stuff that makes no sense. Even if you speculate, it's supposed to make sense.
You would think it went on to her because she's a social media person, but it goes on to him. He derives and collects energy, okay, harvests energy from everybody looking at them as a couple. He's attaching to her. He's overthrowing her birthday celebration by attaching to her. And I know as I'm saying this, a lot of you will say, no, wait, I got engaged on my birthday. I don't think your partners are manipulative like this. This guy went to Tanzania with an ulterior motive.
Okay, what was the ulterior motive? What was the motive? Let's cook. Give us something that makes sense. Because there is such thing as people harvesting energy. Oh yeah. There is such thing as people trying to connect themselves to your energy, and they drain your life. That's why I always tell you, you got to cut people off from your life. Negative people, baggage, wicked people that is not adding value to you, you got to cut them people off. It's always good to have a circle of people that y'all reciprocate energy. In other words, I do for you, you do for me. And we keep that momentum going. That's a healthy relationship. But if I'm doing everything for you, everything for you, everything for you, and you're never there for me at all, it's a one-sided relationship. That's like you're married, ladies, to a man, and he only see you as a piece of meat. Whenever he want to have sex, he get with you, do what he got to do, then he's done. But he's not thinking about your needs. He don't even care. After a while, the act of sex will begin to become toxic to the point where you don't even want to be around him, because it's like he just kind of get with you to get his rocks off, and then when it's time to take care of you, he sleep. That's a bad relationship. You're supposed to reciprocate energy. That's how I go. One hand washes the other.
And at the same time as I'm saying this and I'm getting this information, I'm seeing two people in the background and they are watching this couple. The reason that they're watching this couple in an opportunistic way, okay, so there's another manipulation coming from outside people. Two male people watching this couple is because this couple is constantly barking at each other and making a spectacle, and even getting into a fight reportedly by the hotel people or the restaurant people or where.
She's lying. She's taking the narrative that they already gave us about them having some sort of dispute, and they had to be, I guess, placed in different rooms. That don't even make sense, man. We're dealing with grown adults. We're not dealing with kids, guys. We're not dealing with kids where we had to put them in separate rooms. They added that narrative to the story. I don't believe that. I don't believe that two adults are arguing and fighting and hotel staff separated them from their rooms without calling the police. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense, gang. Yeah, a narcissist have no power. The narcissists have no power. The way they gain power is through your energy. That's why narcissists always try to cling to you. You control who are the people around you. Once you recognize that somebody's a narcissist, an energy vampire, you got to cut those people off from your life as soon as possible, because they're draining from you. The only reason why they're able to survive is because of you. You're the one with the life force. They don't got nothing. They can't live. They thrive off your energy. There's a lot of people like that in the world, and a lot of relationships we have, if we're not careful, we'll have narcissists that are all around us. And this is why a lot of times you feel weak. You feel drained. Sometimes people call you, you on the phone with them. You don't even want to talk to them. They start draining you, telling you about a bunch of garbage. This stuff they telling you is not helping you at all. And then when you get off the phone, you feel like you damn near lost weight because that person draining your energy in your life.
Staying people, that they had to break this fight up and put them in separate rooms like toddlers, which is very interesting. If you're fighting in public and you're outside and you're fighting and you're not 15, not even 20, but you're a grown-ass 48-year-old man. Why are you making a public spectacle out of yourself? What exactly are you doing?
They were not making a public spectacle. This is where you got it wrong, Miss Psychic. They were in their hotel room. And based on the story, the neighboring room, they were the one that made the call because they overheard the dispute. They were not in public arguing. They were in their hotel room. And as you all should know, if you're in a hotel, you can hear what's going on next door. Trust and believe that. Hit that like button, guys. Let's go.
To heighten the energy and focus it onto your partner. What are you doing? How are you expecting people to respond to you? And you have to remember, when you're in a strange neighborhood area, even if it's in the United States, and you're out there and somebody's screaming at you or you're screaming at them, people can see it. So what exactly do you gain by having these two kind of spy people in the background here observe this argument?
What spy people are you talking about? Are you suggesting that two individuals were in the room with Ashlee? Because you said two spy people. So that should be on camera. So if we get the footage from the hotel, which I'm sure the family is not going to get because they didn't even go to Africa, guys. You guys sent them $63,000. These folks never went to Africa. Why did they didn't go, guy? Why? Why did they didn't go to Africa to the hotel and get the footage while everything is fresh? Why did they didn't go to the embassy? Why did they didn't get results, images, some sort of proof about their daughter? Where's the daughter's cell phone? Where is it? Where's her personal belongings? All we heard is that the father's celebrating, my baby is back home. What? That sounds cringy and weird. Your baby is back home? That don't sound like a father that is even of the understanding that his daughter's dead. You're celebrating that her body is back? Where's her cell phone? Where's her purse? Where's her charger? Where is it? Guys, women always have a backup charger. Women walk around with a power brick in their purse, 3 chargers, 2 sets of phones. Do you understand me? And in some instances, they got a laptop or an iPad. They don't ever ask anybody, do you got a charger? Remember, a woman's cell phone is her life. They have it with them at all times. And best believe that phone is going to be charged.
And set it up. It was a set up. I'm sure the restaurant people didn't set it up. They were probably coming to her aid, but the argument itself was a setup.
Listen, they were not in a restaurant arguing. You're lying. Because now, all this stuff you saying, they got cameras. So now you're suggesting they were in an argument at a restaurant? See, she's making these things up. Don't believe that type of garbage. Let's stick to what happened at the hotel. The hotel incident was a domestic incident, and the police were never called. The hotel staff separated them.
And then my mind goes right around to, what was this argument over? Well, here's what I get. The 48-year-old boyfriend, I'm going to keep driving that home, okay? Because here's what I want to say. If you are a much older partner to a relationship person, whether you're male or female, and your partner is a decade plus younger, and you can't handle that people pay attention to them and they are at a different stage in life.
What she's saying here don't make no sense. Joe most likely already been intimate with Ashlee. You could tell by the way they moving. They already been intimate. She's making it seem as if though Joe was jealous. like something's wrong because of the age gap. Like Joe was jealous because of the attention that she was getting. I think people are misunderstanding who Joe is. Joe is the type of guy that deal with women. Do you understand me? It's very easy for Joe to get with different women. This whole situation was over a woman. What do you think? Ashley gonna be upset for nothing? It's either two reasons, guys. Either money was taken from her, or she caught Joe with some other woman. And I'm going with the woman part. You understand? When a woman put all her eggs in one basket and really believe that you're that man, and then it come to find out you out there messing around, that's gonna mess her up. And that's why they had to separate them and put them in different rooms. Let's go.
You become a jealous baby, then maybe you should get your ego in check or drop your ego or choose to love the person without any kind of envy or jealousy popping into it. But he can't do that because he's already targeted her for a specific reason, okay? He's binding her energy for a specific reason. It is ritualistic. I just don't know who these other two people are.
Well, then you're not a psychic. If you don't know who these other two people are, then you should be quiet. Because that is what you put out there. And you got people believing these lies. You understand? And to the person that's talking about my voice, if you watched my 2 previous streams, or all my streams, I already said 1,000 times I'm under the weather. So please stop releasing curses over my life. I rebuke all of that in Jesus' name. I'm healed. Let's go.
I can tell you is the argument started over him looking at messages on her phone, either from social media or literally from...
Bro, did you see what she just did? Do you see what she just did? She said the argument started because he looked at messages on her phone. She's trying to put the narrative that Joe is jealous of her. No. Because if that's the case, why he had to go get a separate room? She did not want him in the room because she found out he was cheating. Joe got other women. This psychic is lying to the viewers.
People who text you have your personal phone number. He took the meaning of this and twisted it. And I'm saying that because you really should have passwords on your phone that you don't give your partner to prove a point, because they will go in there and find fault. He's a fault finder in every direction with her. Okay? Fault find her.
Do you see what he's doing? You see what she's doing? She's trying to imply that Joe was insecure. No. Joe is supposed to be some cryptocurrency millionaire. Those kind of guys is the kind of guy that Ashley wanted. A rich man. And what a lot of women don't understand about men like Joe is they get women easy. You understand? So easy to the point they could replace you. And Ashley felt that energy when she realized that Joe got other women. That's when she realized she wasn't that important to him. And for all we know, the engagement wasn't even real. Just something he did to play with her mind. And when he told her the truth, it broke her heart. This lady's lying, fam. She's lying to you.
She may have presented very confident on the outside, but she wasn't. He was very critical of her. He found something in her phone that made him just ragefully jealous, and he literally went after her in a very aggressive way. Not talking physically necessarily, I'm talking verbally. So she in turn turns around and we just got engaged, it's my birthday, you're fucking it up, I can't eat my dinner. She's defending herself. don't do that either in a relationship. But this woman is defending herself against this adult male who's supposed to be her partner and not supposed to treat her that way, but can't help himself because he's triggered and he is false. So immediately I go back over here and I go to Alice in Wonderland. I don't want to, but I do. My mind goes to Alice in Wonderland and the rabbit with the watch clock with the watch, pocket watch. God, my words today. The pocket.
No. That's just the demon that is in you that is lying. That's why you're fumbling around. You're speaking too fast. Gaslighting the viewers. Spreading lies. You know? Just like they got some false video. I'm pretty sure y'all seen it. Of some dude grabbing some woman in a hallway. Look like a hotel. That's fake. Guys, that's not hotel footage of Ashlee and Joe. You know? You got to watch out with what you're watching on the web. It's so much fake content out here. People are doing whatever they can for a click and a view. I provide you guys with the best content in regards to this case.
And the rabbit running down the trail, and this guy, the boyfriend, is chasing the rabbit down the trail. Okay, the pocket watch is very prominent in the way that I feel about this reading. It's very, very prominent. It's like the timing of this whole event is specific to him, not her, but to him, or he wouldn't have hijacked her birthday. And I'm being dead serious about that. He would have thought about it differently, celebrated her, come back and given her an engagement.
Guys, we got 400 people viewing. I'm providing you guys the best material on YouTube in regards to this case. I should have 400 likes. I don't know. What is it? Just click the like button, guys. It don't cost you not $1 to give it a thumbs up. Let's go.
He targeted her for a reason, and it had to be done specifically. Now, immediately, I go back to the dark web over here, and I go back to the people that...
She keep talking about the dark web, but she ain't telling us what's on this web. She's lying. She's making up stuff to make it sound interesting, but she's not giving us nothing. Where's the meat and potatoes? Where is it? She's not giving you nothing. She's been on now 18 minutes and haven't given us no information about the case.
Man owes money to, and I go back to the fact that everything about his business and his billions and his whatever and his cryptocurrency and his hedge fund and his da-da-da-da-da is all on a made-up kind of platform. So it presents like a particular way, but it isn't a particular way. And this guy even talks on how to make money and how I can do this and how you can do this and da-da-da-da-da. Bullshit. He lost a lot of his money. In fact, it was taken away as punishment because he refused to do something.
What? It was taken away as punishment because he didn't do something. All of this stuff, guys, she's making up as she go. His so-called financial situations, it's on the web. People can look things up. Everybody have wins and losses. That's a part of life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you go through hard times, you suffer, you fall, but then there's times when you get back on track. You know what I mean? But for her to just be saying these things and making it up, it's kind of crazy. And people run with this type of nonsense.
This guy is a facilitator on the dark web. I don't know quite what that means. I don't know what he facilitates, whether it's people, drugs, gambling. It's definitely gambling.
Now she's saying he's a gambler now. How does she know that? Where's the facts so we can verify this? Where is it? And what does that have to do with Ashlee's death?
Here's another thing. Just like hunting parties, okay, in different parts of the country that the elites go on and they hunt people, this guy was in a gambling ring on the dark web, okay, like in a gambling ring on the dark web, where the premise is, if we're to look at it like this, the people put money down into his account or into the girlfriend's account. She doesn't know she has an account, by the way, but into their money accounts.
You heard that? He said that she don't even know that she have an account. So she's implying that Ashlee had some sort of account dealing with gambling, but she didn't know. So I guess she was just losing money, right? None of this stuff is making sense. It don't have nothing to do with the story. That's why I said, as viewers, don't pay attention to fluff. You understand? We're trying to get to the nitty gritty on what happened to Ashlee, because Joe is not talking. And if Ashlee spoke with her mother, based on what the story said that Ashlee contacted her mom to say that her and Joe got into an argument. Okay, why the mom never told the public what the argument was about? Why she never told us? A daughter would tell her mom everything, especially if her and the daughter's close. Notice, Ashlee never contacted her father. She contacted her mom. She didn't have a relationship with her father, y'all. Ashlee loved her stepdaddy more. Do you understand? Because the stepdaddy was there for her when her father wasn't.
And it's like, if he does this by this time, that's a check mark and he'll get $10,000. I'm making up the amounts, but it's kind of like that. It's kind of like a Simon Says, with the benefit of getting money on the back end. So to earn back the money that you lost, took, stole, embezzled, okay, which then led me, when I heard the word embezzled, to the government indictments against him in the United States. So they were coming down with indictments against him for other things he did in the business world. I don't know what they would be, but he literally skipped the country to get indictments away from him physically, or their inability to come after him.
That don't make no sense, guys. That don't make no sense what she's saying. What does any of this have to do with Ashlee Jenae's death? None of this stuff can place Joe at the crime scene. It don't even sound interesting. I mean, at least make the story sound entertaining something.
That's why he picked this time frame. He literally was sinking and crashing and decided to pull a coup over here by leaving the country. So the embezzling, he was trying to get away from that. But whatever's going on in the dark web, or around the dark web, is causing people to up the ante, up the bets. I think you got to have sex with her by this time. I think you got to take her out here. I want to see you propose by this date. I want to see her in the hospital by this date. I want to see her taken off the planet by this date.
This don't make sense, man. So why would some outside entity want Ashlee off the earth? Who stand to gain? What are they gaining? I like to find out what the motive is. What would be the motive to take Ashlee out? What is the benefit in doing that? There gotta be a benefit, a beneficiary. To take someone out, what are you gaining? She ain't giving us that info. She's making it seem like somebody was working with Joe, telling Joe what to do. Oh, you got to have sex with her by this time. Joe been smashed, fam. Joe been smashed. Ashlee was in love. Do you understand me? It ain't like Ashlee was waiting to get married to have sex. They already did that already. So what she's saying don't even make no sense. Everybody that's dating in 2026 is already smashing. So stop the cap.
Let's get some people to verify it. Let's get these two guys to follow you to make sure you live up to what you said you'd do on this gambling site on the dark web, so that you can gain your money back by doing this over here. It's a really perverted game. It's a very perverted game, and I'm not quite understanding it, but there's this whole like circular type of thing. Now, when the argument happened and they separated the two people, when I'm in the room, my energy is like really kind of hot in my stomach. Like I have a fever up and down my esophagus and into my stomach. Okay. So,
No. What you're feeling is a bowel movement. You have to take a shit. That's what you're feeling. Because you're lying. You understand? All this esophagus and all this nonsense. No. You got to go to the bathroom. You're holding it in. That's why your stomach is griping you. Because you're lying to the people. Stop lying to these people, please.
there's something I've ingested or something that I drank. I mean, that's ingesting, but something that's making my body heat inside. So I almost feel like she may have been attempted to be drugged, or she may have swallowed something.
Hey, yo, swallowed something? Wow.
Any of them. And it's burning all the way through the stomach. Like there's a burning sensation.
Well, if that's the case, the autopsy would have that. So now we're going to definitely know you lying. Because if she was drugged, if she swallowed something, then the autopsy should say all of that, right? So if the autopsy come back and it says nothing, then you lie. I mean, I already know you lying, but it is what it is. Let's get back to the content. Hey, hit that like button. We need 400 likes.
I get that she ran and hid. So she's running to hide and actually hid. I get that she's dragged out. I can't see who does it, but I can see that she's overtaken because she's not aware, but she does start fighting.
Guys, everything she's saying here is just like she's just grabbing stuff out of thin air. If you listen to the breakdown that I gave you about this case, I made a lot of sense, guys. It seems as if though this woman listens to other people and she kind of just formulate whatever. And it's like a freestyle. She's freestyling what she's saying in hopes that it sticks.
I don't think they found her where they said they found her. I feel like they found her hunched over, hugging a pillow with her face in the pillow. And I feel like she was sat on and kind of squashed and plied.
No, because based on the narrative, the story, it says that there was markings around her neck, woman. Look, before you do your videos, you got to do your research first. You're talking about her being sat on by a pillow and all this other stuff. That's not what it said. It said there was markings around her neck. You can't get that if somebody's sitting on you with a pillow.
And then positioned correctly. Here's the thing. I can't see if it's him or them. There's 3 men in this scenario. There's the 2 spy people that I see checking up on him. I'm pretty sure that it probably was orchestrated by him, but will appear to not be. I am also hearing the word opportunist about the hotel or the place they were staying. And because of the argument, it opened the door for opportunity to come in. What I found very interesting is she reportedly ended up in the hospital, and the argument happened on April 8th. On April 9th, she was found in her hotel room or wherever it was they put her. She was found in the room. That's exactly when Mars went into Aries on the 9th. So Mars, which can represent surgeons, cars, and men, in the sign of Aries, she's an Aries, Mars conjunct Sun, conjunct Mercury, argument. Aries is going to always attract aggressive things, whether you're male or female, Aries rising, moon, and Aries sun. But in particular, Mars tagging along with her sun sign, is very interesting to the time frame that she's injured. She was injured. Somebody injured.
Somebody in the live chat said, what? Let me see what this person says. Not trying to be funny, but you believe some of the stuff they said, just not all. I don't think you watch my videos. Because if you watch my videos, you would know that I don't believe nothing they said. That's proof you don't watch my videos. You understand me? I'm reporting on the news, which means even though I don't believe the narrative they put out, I gotta still stick with what they put out. But I don't believe that garbage because none of it make logical sense. So you got me wrong.
Her. This young woman did not injure herself. Somebody injured her and set her up in a timeline that I feel is more like ritualistic on a spiritual sense, but presented in a game sense by, I'm just going to say it, I keep getting Russian, I keep getting dark web, and I get people filling out bingo scorecards about the interactions of these two people. So, you know, like Big Brother, where they watched in the house, but we know it was a reality show because it was presented as such. I am feeling like this setup is a reality show with this guy. He's a character because he owes money, embezzled money, took money, laundered money, didn't give it back to them, whatever the fuck he did. And now
Those are a lot of allegations. You know, you're talking about money laundering, you're talking about bets and things he didn't pay. It's a lot of stuff that you're throwing out, but none of that is speaking to the story, the case. It's like she's just, I guess, wasting your time in order to get views. She's not giving you she's not providing no substantial evidence, some clarity, good commentary, you know, some good opinions, something that is, I guess, worth listening to. She's just saying stuff that makes no sense. Like, she's making stuff up.
he's caught up in the game over here where he has to do these things. But does he want to do them or does he want to lure somebody in to do it? That's where I'm confused. I'm actually genuinely confused at that. I do feel that by the end of July that there will be information and he will be indicted on something. What I can ask people to observe, and I can say this, when you have a child that dies and you have people around said child that are romantic partners, ex-romantic partners, friends, all kinds of things, and these people don't come to the remaining family members' aids, the parents, the other spouses, whoever, the children, siblings, and when they talk cruelly and when they refuse to help, there's a huge problem with that. That is implied guilt right there. There's no reason why this family should not have been flown out by this millionaire. Said something like 45 million. Bullshit.
I mean, what she's saying right there, I mean, we can all agree with what she's saying right there, but that has nothing to do with a reading in terms of her being a psychic. I mean, common sense would tell all of us why Joe didn't fly the family out, meet them, go to the embassy, go to the hotel, search for clues. That's common knowledge that we would all agree upon. That has nothing to do with a reading. You understand my point? It has nothing to do with a reading. So it's like, why are we even paying that any mind? Let's go.
This guy, what is it? 2 seconds to put them on a plane and at least get the mother and father out to Tanzania so they can start figuring shit out for themselves about their child? No. You just wanted to get engaged to her so you could relieve your financial debt over here, and you wanted to hijack her energy during her birthday cycle. I know what you were doing, whether you're going to acknowledge it or not. I know what you were doing. That's why you proposed on April 3rd and why her birthday on April 5th was probably the last time that you didn't scream at her. And the way that you're set up is you are very driven, but he's operating out of shame now. This man is operating out of shame to not fly the parents out. So there's something we're not.
First of all, the parents received $63,000, and the parents didn't go to Africa themselves. They kept that money for themselves, guys. You folks gave the family $63,000. They didn't go to Africa. Why did it didn't go? Where the money at? It don't cost $63,000 for the body to come back to the United States. No. Where's the autopsy results? Where's the investigation? Where is Ashlee's phone? Guys, where is her phone? We need her phone. The phone got all the proof. Where the phone at? Do Joe got the phone? Because if she said she needed a charger, the phone got to be at that hotel room. When they picked up the body and took her to the hospital, where's her purse and her personal belongings? Did Joe confiscate it? Which one? You don't see this woman talking about the real issues, man. She's not giving y'all no meat and potatoes.
Seeing about his personality. I highly doubt, here I'm going to sound crazy, I highly doubt that this man is anything that he says he was. I'm sure he had a company. I'm sure he worked I'm sure he had a company, and I'm sure he worked peripherally in these capacities. But what he said to this young woman wasn't true, and how he presented himself was not true.
We all agree that Joe is guilty. We all agree. The big question is, why is the news media protecting Joe? And is Joe still being held in Africa, or is he back in the United States? Do you understand? If the body of Ashlee is back, Joe got to be back too. If the body's back, Joe is back. What are they going to do? Hold on to him in Africa? For what? If she's back, if the body is back here, Joe was released.
And how he acted and tried to imply that he could take care of her wasn't true. The age that he told her he wasn't true. The fact that he had children is a lie. I don't know why I want to say that. That's a really weird thing to say. If I'm wrong about that, but I hear it's a lie. So
what? So now she's saying that he have children. Look, anybody can have children. There's word that he was married before. There's rumors and word of, some ex came out and exposed him. I don't believe all of these things until I look at them. I try to stick with what the case is about rather than all these crazy videos people putting out there. But it seemed like this woman, she grabs what other people put out and try to make it seem like she's speaking some sort of spirituality to you. No, she's not.
I don't know what it is about the children or why that would be a thing. I mean, who lies about having children? Except for really weird people. But he's all built up on a lie. Like it's just one lie, one lie, one lie. And when I pull the card, the whole house of cards comes down. It falls in front of him. He was being monitored by a dark web, Big Brother type organization.
How could Joe been monitored by the dark web, Big Brother type? That don't make no sense. She's making this up as she go, guys. She's trying to make it sound interesting, like she's giving y'all the 411, the T. There's no T in this.
I don't know how else to word it. Big Brother government organization on the dark web that expected certain behaviors and procedures to be followed by him, aka his character, towards her, aka her character, on the scorecards, bingo cards, in order to gather money. This is some kind of a Ponzi gambling scheme on the dark web. And it's also how he operated his business. This is a lot to do with this. I get also, and I will tell you this, Ashlee was collecting information against him and starting to see who he was.
What? Where? Listen, gang, bro. So now she wants us to believe that Ashlee was a CIA agent that was sent to collect information about Joe. That's what she's basically suggesting here. That don't make no sense, guys. That's designed to switch the narrative up again. So that's why Joe took her out. Because Ashlee is a federal agent sent to find out details and intel on Joe. I mean, man, they just be making up these stories.
She was not going to back down from the engagement while she was on vacation with him. She was not going to do that. But when she got back, I think she'd been talking to somebody. I don't know which friend or if it was actually somebody in her family. But I get a group of people, both male and female, that she was communicating with about what this man was up to. She was beginning to break through the veil with respect to him. And this was probably going to cause her a huge wound from him, which it did. She's now dead. So he reminds me of somebody, and I'm curious if his parents are military. I could find no information about this man, even to say birthday, because I wanted to look up.
Why would you need to find information about the man if you're supposed to be a psychic? If you're supposed to be a medium, a witch, a warlock, you're supposed to be getting your information from the dead. Come on now.
Could find no information, but I feel like there's got to be a military connection, and because he's striking me like a controlled bot, you know, he's playing these games on the dark web. He's also has a perverted sexual nature, so there's some sort of addictive kink in there when it comes to sex and what.
I mean, really, we're going to talk about kinks and all this other creepy stuff now? I mean, I think she need a man, fam. I think she's just projecting what's on her mind. She need a man.
People do, and there's the progression of, like, I'm going to move children to my clients that have this particular predisposition to like these certain
So now she's saying that Joe was an alleged pedo PDF and he was smuggling underage girls. I mean, listen, guys, we could play these games, but I'm trying to stick to the case. And it seemed like when you watch these videos from these other people, man, they be on these rabbit trails and they're not sticking to the subject. Like, why is Joe still in hiding? Why Joe ain't talking to the family? Why the media haven't located where Joe lived? His property, this, that. You know the stuff they normally do? You know how they always show up at people's house? Channel 7. We would like to speak to such and such. Get away from my door. We don't even have none of that no more. Like, nobody's questioning Joe. Joe just walked off into the sunset and Ashlee's dead. Y'all think Joe in Africa still? No. If the body was brought back to America, Joe is not in Africa no more, guys. He's not.
So he was a procurer in every aspect of the word. So the financial assets that he's doing, he's playing. I didn't see the movie The Hunger Games, but by what it's described, these two people were playing a version of this game where Ashlee wasn't aware and this guy was aware, and the two people that are watching them were aware. Or
Ashlee's biological mother is married to the white man. Her biological father is married to that other black woman. Do you understand? The biological father and mother, they're not together. The mother is with the white man, and the mother had more children with that man. You understand? I believe it's 3 kids. I believe it's 3. 3 more kids with the white man. So that means the biological mother and biological father, they separated at a young age. They've been separated. So when you look at them now, they all acting like they one big happy family. No, they weren't even talking with Ashlee. If Ashlee was talking to anybody, it was with her mother. You understand? I don't trust none of them, especially the father. He looked weird, like creepy, like he'll set his daughter up.
They are marking and documenting what's really going on because he has to follow direction specifically and implicitly in order to get out of the mess that he's in. But when he comes back to America, they're still going to haul him off to jail. It's still going to happen. So
I told you guys that I believe that Ashlee was a blood sacrifice. And a lot of times these blood sacrifices could be for financial obligations. It could be spiritual. It could be an energy harvest. And being that Ashlee was full of life, her birthday, what else? Engagement. When you put all of that type of stuff together, she has high energy. You know? She's the life of the party. You see that? When she got online and did her thing, all the women, they flocked to her page. They really had a lot of love for her. They followed her for real, for real. They believe in her work. So her getting murdered, I know that she didn't take her own life. I know she didn't do that. She didn't do that, guys. There's no reason to. She had too much going for herself. Imagine you got, like you've been struggling all your life, man. All your life you've been struggling, trying to find your way. And you finally get your big break in life. Finally, after years of just going through. You mean to tell me you want to check out? No, I need to live a little bit. I want to live a little bit. You know? So she didn't take her life. Somebody took it from her. The question is, why? Why? Was it something in that disturbance that happened at the hotel that caused them to get separated? What was said? What was done? You want to tell me Ashlee didn't tell her mom? She had to. She had to tell her mom. A daughter is going to tell her mom the truth. She's going to tell the mom what she saw. Something was done that was so bad that it really made Ashlee like flip. Like she literally flipped out. But them separating them into different rooms, that don't seem normal, because if a man and a woman is arguing and fighting, separating them is not solving the problem. It's not solving the problem. And they would have to see each other again. So they're going to be fighting again. So it's best to just go home. Ashlee was supposed to leave. Maybe she wanted to leave and they held her against her will. You understand? Because if a woman and a man is fighting and he put hands on her, she ain't going to want to stay. And a black woman definitely is calling them cops. Them cops is coming. You know? She ain't going to want to stay. She's going to want to come home. So they probably held her hostage, took her phone, right? And then what happened is she probably had another phone, but she needed the charger because Joe could have took all of that from her. That's why when he left to go to another room, he probably took her main phone, but she had a backup phone, but she needed the charger. There's so many different ways to spin this, guys.
He double fucked himself and figured he could get out of it because somebody pulled in a favor in the country, which is why it was reported that she offed herself to begin with, which she didn't. We have to stop believing that online. They killed themselves. They jumped off a balcony. They did this. They did that. Sure they did. Okay, these young influencers, she jumped off the 14th floor for no reason at all with no prior history. Yeah, she did this to herself after getting in an argument. I would think, and knowing Aries women like I do, that would be the last thing they're gonna do. If anything, they're gonna off the other person. Okay, they're gonna come.
We can all agree, and even though she's saying these things, I'm not saying that I agree with all of this reading stuff. I don't. But I do agree that Ashlee didn't take her own life. We all know this, guys. You understand? We know that Ashlee did not take her life. Ashlee even made a tweet. Excuse me. Ashlee made a tweet that went a little something along the lines of committing S word is never the answer. It's a post that resurfaced, and she wrote this. So that taking your own life is never the answer. And she don't have no prior conditions with mental health issues or none of that type of stuff. So for them to spin this narrative, oh yeah, she took her life, that's a lie. They said the same thing about Stephen Twitch Boss. That's a lie. Twitch did not take his life. You know? None of these people took their lives. They always placed them at a hotel and claimed that they took their life. It's a lie. 100%. In the case with Twitch, based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to have to do some update videos. If you look at with the case of Stephen Twitch Boss, how Allison Halker got with the new man. In my opinion, Twitch found out about that relationship. Oh yeah. Twitch found out about it. And what a lot of people ain't really catching is that when he went down to that hotel, he probably went down there to meet that man. And when he got to that hotel, there was a struggle for a gun, and then Twitch ended up dead. And they fixed it like, oh, he took his own life. When really, he went down there to meet that dude that Allison is with right now, allegedly. Because Twitch was successful. He had millions of followers on TikTok, YouTube. He had his dance business. He was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He had various projects and things that he was working on. The man was at the peak of his life. He had 2 beautiful kids. Plus, he was a stepdad to the elder daughter that Allison had with some other dude. So he had a lot of stuff going for himself. Why would he take his own life? And he got kids. That don't make no sense. And shout out to everybody coming in. I see people saying, what's up, Ringo? Appreciate everybody stopping by. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Always hit that like button. You got 430 people. We should have 500 likes already. I don't know what's taking y'all so long. I'm providing the best content. Let's go.
After the other person. They're not doing it to themselves. That's not who they are. They're not that kind of people. So just instinctually, it goes against everything, but I can see that she didn't do it. Like I literally feel like she didn't do it.
We don't need a psychic to tell us that she didn't do it. We already know she didn't do it. All of us know that she didn't do it. We don't need her to tell us that.
Okay, she was a shy kid in school. She was really shy.
Everybody was shy. Let's go.
That just came through. That literally just came through right now. And she's kind of throwing her hand up like this. And she's saying, I'm here. She's afraid to speak right now. So something happened that she observed on the way to her passing away. I don't know if this was in dream state or this had to do with like the injuries that she received, because I do feel like there's something with a head injury, but whatever it was, whether she fell into like a coma state and like was up in the ethers, something terrified her. So she's really hesitant to come through. Like she's putting her hand up like a small child not wanting to be seen. Like, I don't want to be seen. So she's very timid in the background and doesn't want them to see her. I feel like she was ritualized in this relationship by him without her knowledge. So what that means is I feel she had binding ties put together with somebody working black magic on her, orchestrated by the fiance and or the fiance's handlers on the dark web in order to procure her into this lifestyle because they needed to harvest her energy or have her energy for themselves.
I mean, in regards to harvesting energy, I agree with that. But at the same time, she's not hearing this from some spirit world. This is stuff that is already on social media that I talk about. A lot of these witches and warlocks, what they do is they regurgitate information they hear from me and others, and they make it sound spiritual, like they're giving you the truth. And all they're doing is getting the content that they watch from me. Yes, energy harvesting is real. Destiny swap, real. People plotting on you to take your life force. That's real. You know? When I look at this case, it's like a blood sacrifice. Somebody had to gain something from her death. That's why I said we got to follow the money. Who stands to gain financially? So far, we see the family gaining money. $63,000 on the GoFundMe. And they most likely going to get more money. Because if Ashlee is dead, what about her money that's in her accounts? What about where Ashlee lived? They're going to have access to her house, apartment, car, money, banking info. They're about to get a bag off Ashlee's death, y'all. That's why I told you I don't get them no money.
Sometimes people have just this really strong, vibrant energy, and other people need it in order to attach to, in order to go where they need to go in society.
That's true. That's very true. But that doesn't mean that she is getting that from a reading. I teach on this type of stuff all the time. A lot of times people will befriend you because you're the one who carry the light. You're a chosen one. And you got it. You got that. You just got the it factor. That when you're around, everything go good. When you're around, the trees blossom. The grass start to grow. Everything grows when you're around. And people try to attach themselves to you. These demons, these narcissists. And they live through you. They're able to survive because of you. And the minute you cut them off, you begin to grow even more because you had a demon that attached itself to your life that was harvesting your energy. Let's go.
I believe that this girl was going to get somewhere in the next 2 years that was going to elevate her career for a cause. There was a cause coming. Like, her name is synonymous with a cause. She was working on that from behind the scenes. Now it's going to be synonymous with boyfriends that murder you while you're on a vacation. But she was working on this behind the scenes, and I feel like they needed to collapse that energy and hijack it, which is why he proposed to her before her birthday. I can see the timing element. He was in such a hurry, looking at his watch, tick-tock, chasing the rabbit, looking out of his watch.
She's making up stuff as she go, gang. Again, she's not adding value to the case. If anything, she's making things worse. She's making matters worse, guys. Her psychic reading made matters worse. And it's confusing the viewer by throwing y'all all over the place. No, let's keep it simple. Joe, turn yourself into local authorities and just confess about what you did to Ashlee. Because we the people, we believe you're guilty. We don't need no psychic to tell us that.
It feels like he's somewhat of a controlled person energetically, because he's not stating things right. And then there's these two other people over here again, and I can't see it. So in the room where she is, I feel like she ran to a closet and curled up and hid. So I feel like she was anticipating somebody like punching her, hitting her. And then I feel like she lost consciousness, and then I feel like they positioned her, and then I feel like somebody in the government stated the wrong facts in order to distract everybody, and I do feel like somebody from the immediate outlying surrounding area also participated in what was going on. This seems like a ritual to me, with the two people performing the ritual not being spoken to or acknowledged prior to her being in a state to be ritualized. That's actually what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. And I'm not sure how they're going to divvy out who did what, but they're making a lot of money on the dark web because of this incident. I don't know how one checks that, but that's what I'd be checking, because there are...
How would they be making money on the dark web if she's dead? How? How are they making money? That don't even make sense. If she's dead, then how is Joe making money? No sense. It don't make sense.
Gambling and scorecards that reference what happened to her. Ashlee, I'm talking about what happened to her. So you have to be very careful when you date. And definitely probably shouldn't leave the country with somebody that you're already fighting with. I want you to keep in mind, to me, the energy of these two dating was already domestically violent from month 3 on. Probably from the first week on, but she probably forgave it. And if I'm correct, her Saturn in Pisces, which is true regardless.
She says, if I'm correct, which means she's not. She's hoping that she is.
What time she's born. That Saturn in Pisces, literally this baby girl had to learn how to and to not be overly empathic to people who didn't deserve it. So the over empathy or compassion to forgive and to overlook certain things. She was very stubborn too. There's like a little Taurus quality to her. Very stubborn on the same thing, but didn't want people to know that this relationship was failing, but it was failing from day one. And I believe people were telling her, step away from this guy, including her mother. That's why she apologizes to her mother for not listening. She also didn't listen to herself. She knew better. I'm hearing she knew not to go on this trip, but she just thought she would go on this trip, get it done, and get it over with, and figure out stuff later. I really get that. She kind of knew not to go and was terrified.
That's a lie, man. That was the trip she wanted to go on. It's right on her social media. So to say that Ashlee knew not to go on the trip, that's a lie. That was her dream to go there. So this woman is lying to the people.
Of going. She must have told somebody out there, one of her friends, one of the people online. She must have said it to somebody, because I really get that. She went against her own instinct, and as a result of it, she woke up in a circumstance that she couldn't handle. And the reason she couldn't handle it, number one, is not her fault. The only thing I would fault her in is not listening to herself, not listening to her gut instinct. I hate it when people don't do that, because we don't trust our gut instinct. We think, oh, it's a feeling, I must be crazy. And you can be crazy for sure, but that wasn't the case here. That wasn't the case. What the case was is that she didn't listen and put herself in a vulnerable position with a man who clearly didn't like her. He didn't like her. He wanted to use her, is what I'm getting. He was taking...
Now, I told you guys in my videos that Joe didn't love Ashlee. But what this woman is saying here, it's like we already know he didn't like her because she's dead. So common sense would tell us that this is not like some secret info she's telling the people. If he had love for her, she'll be alive. If Joe had love for her family, Joe would be communicating with them. He ain't with them. Because he don't care for them. He only care about himself.
From her energetically to alleviate these bills over here. He targeted her. And he was aggressive with her the whole relationship verbally, is what I'm seeing. All right, you guys, that is my reading on Ashlee Jenae, the social media influencer who was murdered in Zanzibar, Tanzania. I think she passed away on the 10th of April after becoming engaged and celebrating her birthday. This was something that was done to her. And once again, my name is Sloan from SloanBella.com.
So that's about it, guys, of that situation. I don't agree with this psychic woman because she's actually a witch. And there's a lot of witches and warlocks on social media. And a lot of times these are narcissists who do these type of things. And people believe in that type of stuff. You know, it is what it is. I guess it's entertaining to them. But when it comes to the case of Ashlee Jenae, we got to stick with what's really important that's going to bring her justice. If the body is back in the United States and the family got the body, okay, what's the next step? Autopsy results, find out if she was drugged, you know, is there any sort of injuries to the body, to the head, to whatever part of the body? We need those kind of answers. Was there a struggle? You know, does any of the tests show a struggle, that something went wrong, and you know, any sort of trauma to the body? These are the type of things the experts are going to have to test, and we need an update on that, because I feel the family is just going to have a regular old funeral, and then there's no investigation. In the beginning, they were talking all this talk like, yeah, we're going to investigate. We're going to probably take a trip out to Africa. We're going to get the footage. Where's that energy? It's like they're not even doing nothing. They don't even care. So that's my take on this. I'm going to have other videos, guys, where I'm going to be reviewing other content, as long as also giving you updates in regards to the case, and do some more breakdowns. But I appreciate everybody stopping by. You know, I'm literally working hard, fam. Even under the weather with a cold, man, and I'm still cranking out these videos and really going in, bro. That shows dedication, consistency, and hopefully you guys appreciate the work. You know, if you're new and you subscribe to the channel, welcome to Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you hit the like button, click all for the bell, and hype the video. That helps out with the algorithm. Leave some comments. Let us know that you're new. Tell us where you're from. You know what I mean? Let us know if the video was helpful. Did you get something out of it? Maybe you watch that woman's platform. Maybe you're subscribed to her platform. I don't know. My job is just to clarify information, expose the lies, debunk false information. Because when it comes to these cases, I'm very passionate about it. I think that Ashlee needs justice. She didn't deserve to die. Not because of her preferences of being with a white man. That has nothing to do with the case. Why was she murdered? There's a reason for that, guys. Something happened and somebody felt she don't need to be here no more. Ain't no telling why she was put to death. Was her relationship a set-up relationship in order to get her to Africa to unalive her? Because they knew they couldn't do that in the States? So they took her to another country? Fam, we're going to stay on the case. We're going to do what we got to do. So, hey, shout out to Forever Studios, Caramel, Kimmy Kim. Appreciate all the mods. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that rock with the platform. If you would like to support my shows, you feel I'm doing a good job, you want to support financially, you can do so. $ Ringo TV Raw. That's $ Ringo TV Raw. You can always find my Cash App in the video description under these videos, Or if you want to use PayPal, it's paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. And you can always super chat to support the shows. Your support is what keep the lights on. So it is what it is, gang. Again, if you're new, let us know so we could welcome you to the platform. If you want to become a member of the channel, join the membership. It is what it is. So y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy your Sunday. And that's about it, gang. I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.